Mansfield Hall is the second part of the Mansfield setup. So we had Mansfield House, where the last time we spoke I was in Mansfield House. This is Mansfield Hall. This is the one that's next door and is about 1.5 times the size. Mansfield Hall was purchased, and we thought when the other people had their own stuff in it, we didn't think that there was actually anything or very little needing done to it. And then they emptied the house. And that kind of changed the whole thing. We discovered that they had an awful lot of big pictures up, and we never really noticed that what they had done was they'd actually ripped out all the original features in the property. So we decided that we were going to put it all back in again. Which takes a while and is expensive, but it was well worth it because it's now starting to get its character back. It turned from what we thought would be maybe a fortnight sort of fluff and buff type thing into a 6 to 8 week build, but because they both came online at the same time, we decided that we were going to do it together, and instead of it being a 12 and an 8 week build, we did both of them in 3.5 weeks. It wasn't really nerve-wracking. I just knew that I had to have the time frames correct and make sure that it was possible to do it in the time frame that we wanted, because where we are in Scotland, although we're fairly far south, it's not uncommon for us to get -15 here. So we thought, if we're starting to do works outside or painting and stuff like that, if there's no heating in the house, we could have frozen pipes. It could cause real problems with that. Even things like silicone and new bathrooms and pipes being run is hazardous when you're in that kind of temperature. And 4 times while we were doing the build, it hit -6. Yeah, it tested us a few times, but I wasn't scared of it. It's just you need to make sure that you do it right. The total build for both of them, we are about 50,000 under budget in Mansfield House, and we are about 48,500 under budget for here. So about 100,000 I think we're under at the minute. But yeah, we're on track, and the value of the house is very much higher than we expected, so that's even better. And we were looking at, I had based all my figures on 65% occupancy, because that's what Abby had said, to give yourself be realistic. You're just new to the industry as far as service accommodation in the area. Well, if I take it at the 81% occupancy, which is the average for this area, it'll bring in around about the 200,000 mark. Next door is going to be slightly more than that. What we're actually looking at doing is having them take the whole thing over for 2 years, because they're a wedding venue and they don't have any accommodation. So if we were to do it at a nightly rate, then it's a lot of figures, but that means we have to maintain it. But we're looking at them taking it on board, and to which case it'll be slightly different, but we don't have any hassles. We just go, there you go, look after it and bring it back to us in 2 years' time. But they have already started their bookings into the 3rd year. It's higher again than what we thought. So that's good. It's been very fast, but people have asked me about this and said, why do you think you've done it so quickly? And I said, I haven't done anything that anybody else can't do. All I did was put into action the tools that I've been given through Touchstone and just went with it. That was really it, really nothing special. I just did as I was told, this is how you do it. Okay then. I had no experience in doing investor finance, but once I had presented at the deal clinic, that definitely changed things. It kind of grew arms and legs after that, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a very nerve-wracking and tiring. It's a lot of mental exhaustion attached to it, but that's because, as I keep saying, I build houses for a living. I'm not a natural numbers person, But I've had to learn. I've had to learn to be an actual person and comfortable asking people for money, because that's not really the way I was brought up. It was like, you don't talk about money, you know, and to suddenly turn around and go, hey, I've got this great idea, can I have your money? You know, it's a bit more than that, but you have to present the full thing. You have to be really transparent, and you have to know your numbers. And that's something that takes a little bit of learning, you know. Thank God for Touchstone and all their modules. So that's where I learned it all. So, yeah. Abby started it off. She knew I'm a kind of strong character, but she knew that I was a little unsure of doing something so new, as I said, at my age. I'm 55. And she said, I'm surprised that even comes into your thinking. And I said, it does. And she said, you know you can do this. And I said, I think I can. She said, no, you know you can. You just need someone to go on. And she did. And that gentle, maybe not quite so gentle nudge to do the Touchstone Deal Clinic at Twickenham was definitely the catalyst to what's going on now. And then Nikki and I had started talking at deal clinics and stuff like that, and I was working with her as well. I see an awful lot of myself in the girls, I really do. Nikki is super hardworking, Abby's super hardworking, but they've got a lot of tenacity about them, you know, they don't tend to give up. I'm a bit like that. Nikki has this kind of almost weird link with me that she can almost sense when I'm struggling a touch, and I don't make it known, but I just out the blue get a message from her, you know, hey kid, are you all right? And I'm like, how did you know I was having a bit of a tough day today? And their belief in the fact that I've done this for other people for so long, actually coming back in and doing it for ourselves again, for myself again. And they were like, it's okay, you can do this. You've proven it time and time again, just go out and do it again. It sounds really corny, and I don't mean it to sound corny, but I'll be eternally grateful to them for not just the support and the training and everything else, but the fact that they're decent human beings and turn around and just say, you know, are you okay? But they could see it and I couldn't. So yeah, they definitely have your back. They certainly have had mine. The Touchstone community have kept me going because I've done this as a live, warts and all, on our Facebook page. And I've done a video in the morning and a video at night, or if something strange has happened or bad. Because I said I would do it warts and all, and the support and the phone calls and the messages, you know, just one-line messages, keep going. And that's where the power team comes in, because the guys that I work with saved Mansfield house 4 days from completion when we had 3 floods in 2 days. That was, in every project, there is a day that you go, why am I doing this? That was that day. I got a phone call while we were out, you need to get back to the site. Came back to the site to be greeted with water pouring through all the ceilings, down all the walls, over all the brand new carpets that were 4 hours old. And we were pretty much underwater at that point. And it had been a previous workman that had been on site that hadn't capped the water pipes. And when the new plumbers had run the system the way they should have done, they didn't know he hadn't capped the old pipes, and he'd cut them so short he couldn't see them. And then they turned on the system to test the boiler system, and it came through the house at 1.4 bar. That could have, if we didn't have the power team that we did, because I have a WhatsApp group, and I just sent out everyone at Mansfield House. And they literally dropped what they were doing, ran over to the other house, and there was water everywhere pouring through the ceilings. The painters and decorators were holding sheets, like waterproof tarps, above their head and pouring the water into buckets, because it's running down, the red paint is running down the white walls they've just painted. Yeah, that didn't scare me, it just made me go, good Lord, what are we doing? This is madness. But the power team stepped in because they went, that's fine. Boys were lifting carpets, putting dehumidifiers in. The cleaners had arrived because we were at that point. They were then hoovering up the water out the carpets. The painters were putting tarps above them so that they could dry off the walls and carry on repainting. Power team was everything. And that starts from the family and works right the way through to the apprentice. So the power team is 1,000%. You can't do it without them. If you haven't done it before, that's the thing that's your mindset either needs to be incredibly strong, which I work on continually because I've been right into personal development for about 10 years. And to be honest with you, it's one of these things that does keep me going. I also know that I can have that 10 minutes locked in the car going, don't anybody open that door. Because obviously you've got lots and lots of builders and joiners and plumbers and they've all got their own radios on and there's lots of noise and banging and clattering and craziness going on. And I'm one of these people, just for a minute, I need to think of the process. And I always go back to the process, and the process is the important part, because if you don't have the process and you're just flying by the seat of your pants, then that's when you can really go, what am I doing? You know, because I don't know the next step. It's mindset as well as experience, and just knowing that and accepting the fact that sites throw these things at you, especially when you specialise in buildings like this. This is not a new build. This old lady's been standing for 200 years. She knows how to throw a curveball at you. That's why I started doing this, because I have got a real thing about history, and it's a pet hate of mine that people take Georgian buildings or Edwardian buildings, Victorian buildings, and then they tear them all out and they make them square boxes in the inside. And for a long, long time I couldn't understand why people did that. Well, the simple fact is this: they want more room, but they don't necessarily like the style. I personally love the style, I love the colours, I love the fact that they're a bit crazy, a bit out there. You've seen a couple of the rooms that we have in here that, you know, Ian came up with the whiskey room and I came up with the library, and then I said to him, I want it colour drenched. And he said, what's that? And I said, it's one colour, ceiling to floor. And he kind of looked at me like I was mad. Then I showed him the wallpaper that it was going to have in it, and he definitely knew I was mad. And it's my most favourite room in the house. You know, so colour and style of that era is really, really important, because with these going to be serviced accommodation, if they want a modern building, they'll go and hire a modern house. But if they're coming to a big Georgian building, they don't want to come in and see IKEA furniture. They just don't. You know, and that's why we buy the likes of all the old Georgian furniture. We've just recently become grandparents for the first time, and Ian and I were talking about this, and I said, you know, what it has done is it's just given us the security to know that our family are going to be secure for the future. Ian and I are not going to live forever, as much as we would like to say that we would, but, you know, we want to know that our kids are okay, our grandkids are okay, but it's been set up in a way that they can have it, they can utilise it, but they can't get rid of it. So it's going to be generational. And then that way, it just gives us the freedom to do what we want to do. We've decided that we're going to do between 4 and 8 of these a year for the next 4 years. And then I don't see me ever not working. Not because I have to, because I love what I do. But I can slow down, and it gives us the choices to do the things that we want to do, the family, the choices. It allows Ian to play golf as much as he likes. I can't think of anything worse, but that's his thing. So it just is freedom. It's freedom, and it's a whole lot of security for the kids, and that's what it's all for. It's all for them. It's all for them.